time for the Monday Angel message. I'm Rachel Scoltock, and I'm going to pull some cards for you today for the entire week ahead. And I went to the beach this morning and to talk to the angels and God, just to ask about what do we most need to know today? What is it that is most the strongest energy for us? What is the guidance coming from our angels? What do we most need to know? So one of the messages that I got is that we're in what I call the mud. We're in the depth of deep change at the moment. And it feels like we've been doing this isolation thing for a while, and it can feel exhausting. You know, there's so much coming up. There's so many things that we have to deal with that we're not used to dealing with. And I guess it's making us more aware of ourselves, more aware of our what we're doing in the world, and more aware of our relationships, even, you know, the people that are there for you through this, and the people that maybe are doing their own thing, or, you know, maybe they need people that are there for them. It doesn't matter. We're being called to dig deep into our emotional selves and into our truth and into our best selves as well. You know, I guess it would be easy to just skim through this and just watch Netflix nonstop and and not do any kind of self contemplation, but you'd be doing yourself a disfavor. But at the same time, there is also all this pressure that you have to, you know, get your house perfect, get your body perfect, do all the work on yourself. You know, there's this kind of expectation almost of like, okay, we've got to make this worthwhile. We've got to make this work. So you've also got to be really aware that there is a lot of energy going on at the moment, and a lot of it can be tiring. Even if you think about it from the point of view that we're all aware of each other in the world more than ever. So we're recognizing that there is no sort of separation, that we're all together in this. But we're also aware that, you know, of what's going on in the world, perhaps even more than usual. And we're waiting for news. We're waiting to see what happens. There's a consciousness of a little bit of worry and fear as well. For a lot of people, it's a lot of worry and fear. So all of this has got it's like a white noise going on in the background, and it can be draining. And that's why so many people are tired. Then we take it to another level, to the spiritual level, to the level of energy, which most of us don't pay much attention to. I do. And I'm sure if you've awakened to your spiritual self and to the spiritual truth of the world and the life that you live, that you are aware of your energy, but your energy is going through a massive change too. And on this level, it's like we're all going into a transformation. It's like a caterpillar going into the cocoon and turning into mush and then coming out as a butterfly, you know, and that is no small thing. It's a rebirth. It's a rebirth, as well as your consciousness is being stretched. You're being asked to go into a deeper perspective of things. And that doesn't mean giving all of your attention to everybody else's opinions of what this is. I guess it's good if you can get yourself to a place of what feels right for me, what feels truth for me. But know that we can't predict the future, and there's no point going into the past. And if you go into too much overthinking and overanalysis, that's just going to steal away your connection to your soul. You know, when we get caught up in drama, it's ego. It pulls us out of our true self and into a lower self, which uses a lot of our emotional energy up. So be aware of that at the moment. But we're in this kind of time of rebirth, and it can feel a little bit sticky. It can feel slow. It can feel difficult, and you can feel defeated sometimes, exhausted, wondering when it's all going to be over. But the angels are asking us, one, to tune into them. They were talking to me over the weekend about how we all have to get more in tune with our angels. And it's not a rule, it's not a mandatory sort of thing, but it's kind of like if only more people listened to their angels and listened to their soul, there would be much more happiness, there'd be much more peace. We'd be making decisions for ourselves that would lead in a direction of happiness, peace, prosperity, joy, rather than into drama, into fear, into anxiety. So the angels really want you to tune into them, to ask for their help, and to also sit and listen, because it's no good asking if you're not going to listen to what their directions are. And they want you to know that they're all around you all the time. They're looking after you. You have guardian angels who are with you, and they want to help you, and they want to help you for your highest good. They're not going to lead you to things that you don't like or you don't want. So that's the first message that, well, bunch of messages I've been getting. So I'm going to pull you some cards. I'm trying to keep these to a relatively short time because it's easier to access, I think. Hey, Natalie, I can see you now. Hi, Natalie. Hi, Kim. That's lovely. Thank you. Stacy, hi. D, K, hi, Kay. And Fiona, hi, Fee, how are you? Okay, Kim, I'll try and answer that question in a second. I did a video on Friday that was about being needy. It's a really good question, So I'm going to pull the cards for the week, and then I'll be able to answer questions. So we're asking what we most need and want to know this week. So one thing that the angels were talking to me about when I was meditating over the weekend was about not only listening to your soul, but recognizing what comes up for you in your thoughts. Are there things that you're feeling resentful about? Are there things that you feel you haven't let go of from your past? And your past leads all the way up until this moment, right? Are there things that perhaps you've left incomplete? So, they could be simple things like a project, something that you want to finish, a book that you're writing or reading, something that you need to say to someone, something that you need to forgive. It's about tying off loose ends. So I really feel that as we're deep in this energetic mud of transformation, we are being asked to create endings. And it doesn't mean that you've got to walk out on your family or anything like that, but it's more on a deeper internal level. So we always think we've got to fix everything out there and then we'll be okay. But a lot of the time we've got to fix things in here. And then, it's how we feel about it. It's how we think about it. It's how we're reacting. It's what we're holding on to energetically and mentally and emotionally. So what do you need to finish? What do you need to clear out? What do you need to mend even? This is a time of tying off loose ends. We're in this time of massive transformation, which is all about ending of cycles and beginning of new cycles. So if you're feeling stuck, it might be that you haven't ended a cycle. It might be that you haven't finished with a situation for way in your past, or a behavior or a pattern that you haven't been wanting to look at or release. So this card is very apt, and this is in the traditional tarot, this would be the World card, which is about beginnings and endings. And the Universe in the Psychic Tarot by John Holland, which I love these cards. This is such a beautiful card. So it's saying, yes, your new beginning is fresh and ready for you. Like there are new things coming in. You're being birthed into this new era for yourself, but also what you do makes a difference to the planet as well, to everybody, to mass consciousness. So when you do your healing, your forgiveness, your releasing, your finishing of things that are hanging on, then you're going to feel your new beginning happening, but you're also allowing that to trigger for other people as well. Because remember, everything you do has a ripple effect. So this makes this one more interesting. So it's amazing we've got such major arcana cards. This is the Shadow. This is about facing things that you don't want to look at. This is about really looking at your dark side, I guess, and saying, just like Kim is saying, like, how do I stop doing these things that I don't want to do? And also facing your fears. Like, what are you afraid of? What's holding you back? Are there things that you've wanted to do for a long time or you'd like to do, but you have held yourself back from that, from a way of being, a way of thinking about yourself, about the world, about what's possible. So this is an opportunity this week to dig deep and to face those fears. So pay attention to what's coming up for you. Pay attention to your dreams. Maybe do some journaling. Ask the angels to work with you when you're journaling and ask, what do I most need to know at the moment? What am I working through? Now, this is beautiful. This is saying that this card actually is about coming out of the battle and being successful. So it's giving you encouragement. It's asking you to not look at yourself negatively. Just because you recognize a fault in yourself or a weakness doesn't mean that you have to put yourself down or that you're a bad person. It just means that you need to make a change. And then there is other things, it's like coming to the end of a difficult period in your life. And this is what all of this is about. This is what the whole thing is about, is that we're coming to an end of a difficult period, a period where things have been hard for everyone. There's been, things that we've been carrying that we don't like. There's things in the world that we don't like, and they're showing up just like in that, everything is a mirror in a way. So, I had the thought yesterday, like, why have we got so many world leaders that seem to be in their ego? Well, the world leaders are what are voted in mostly by humanity, and we vote them in because we think they're going to meet the needs that we want them to meet, which may be selfish needs. So we've created selfish leaders. And if we want to change that, we've got to change on the inside and start to think about everybody and what we're creating for everybody. And then that creates a less selfish world, and that will create a different kind of leader. So that doesn't mean that we're all at fault for the things, but it's about just tweaking our behavior a little bit, I guess. So we can look at the other things that are in our life and go, okay, how did I create that? How did that manifest? The outcome card, have I shown you the other one? Yeah, so it's like, be nice to yourself, be kind to yourself, know that you're going to be successful. The angels are helping you. And then there's these choices coming up, movement choices and decisions. There's things that you're going to have opportunities show up for you that you didn't even think were there. I had a conversation with somebody over the weekend who was talking about feeling let down, that they'd lost their job, that there was nothing in their future, that they tried so hard to create the job that they had and now it's gone. And they were really in a feeling of defeat, which is easy to feel at the moment, right? But that's if we imagine that this thing is going to continue endlessly, and and we take it personally. We've got to not take it personally and recognize, hang on, there's something magical going on under the surface. The angels and God are working with us. The angels have been streaming in for the last few years. In their thousands, we've been getting more and more and more angels to the earth. I wonder why that is. Because they're waking us up. They're getting our consciousness to a higher level. The divine wants us to listen to our angels. And when they are needed, that energy is needed here. So there's no harm in asking for them. So we know that there are some good things manifesting, and you are powerful. You have that light of an angel within you. You can create something magical for yourself. And then, so it's on I'm seeing a wholeness, and it's hard to explain. It's like the world is creating a new energy field around it, and that energy field includes everybody from the person that is in the lowest state possible to the person that's in the highest state possible. Everybody will benefit from this new energy coming in that is already here. Actually, we've just got to learn to accept it and tune into it. And then this card is pretty amazing. And I pulled this one earlier from the Work Your Light deck. And it's actually birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. So for yourself and for everyone else. I guess we are being asked to keep our vibe high and to stay positive and to not cave into feeling depressed and defeated and hopeless, and into being angry at the world and at the world leaders and things like that, but to start to say, okay, you do make a difference. You make a difference. How you are, what you think, what you want is just as valid. You are seen, you are heard, you are needed. And at the same time, you need to pay attention to what you're feeling in the moment and take some deep breaths and ask yourself what you need. And if you need to cry, you cry. If you need to punch a few pillows, right? You've got to let yourself feel what's going on, and don't do a spiritual bypass. A spiritual bypass is like pretending to be spiritual and being all divine and love and light, but inside you're seething. Inside there's stuff going on, right? You're a human. You have a soul. You have a physical body. You have emotions. You have feelings, and we cannot not be feeling the challenges that are going on at the moment. So in all of this Friday, and I almost forgot about promoting this Friday, I've got a webinar, a live webinar, 10 a.m. Friday morning, Sydney, Australia time. And it's about protecting your energy and connecting into your new energy field. And this is all about uplifting you. I'm going to put a couple of activations in this with the angels, where you're going to be receiving the angel energy. We're going to be talking about how to not take on the fear and heavy energies of others, and also how to give without being drained, and just really giving you some skills to protect your energy field at this particular time, because we're in a new era. This energy right now we've never had before, and the situation we're living in right now, unless you can remember your past lives, you have never lived in before, and it would be even different than it was back in the plague days. So the angels are working with us to protect and clear and create this strong energy around us. So if you'd like to join me for that, I'll put the link into the comments section, and you can click on that. It's not very expensive to join. It's just a one-off event. And that's this Friday, which will be probably Thursday evening, Thursday night in the Northern Hemisphere. So hope all of that made sense. We can all get back to work soon. Yeah. So I'm just looking for Kim's comment. Hi, Patricia. Nice to see you too. So Kim said, I'd like to know how to let go of being needy towards someone. So good question. So when we're being needy towards someone is when we believe that for some reason they are the source of good energy for us. So that you might be believing that person is the source of love for you, or the source of you being able to feel good about yourself. And that's a false belief. That's a belief that comes from your ego, your lower self. Because our higher self knows, whilst we need people, like we can't, it's really difficult, this isolation thing, because we are disconnected physically from the people that we love. And we recognize we're social creatures. We love to connect. But that doesn't mean that someone is the source of all of our good. And if we make someone the source of all of our good, we actually give our power away to them. And then we start to feel like we are nothing, we're empty, and your self-esteem suffers. You don't feel good about yourself, you don't feel good about life. So one of the things that you can do if you feel like this, about anything, anyone, maybe your job, or maybe your boss, or maybe your partner, or maybe someone who you'd like them to be your partner or your best friend, is to pull your energy back from them. Because if you have made them the source of all of your good, you have disconnected from the true source of all your good, which is God, the source, divine love. Which means that the less divine love energy you're getting, the more drained, the more worthless, the more depressed, the more frustrated you're going to feel, because you're not receiving the true energy that your body and mind and spirit functions on. You are disconnecting from that, and you've decided for whatever reason. And don't get me wrong, our society trains us in this with romantic movies and romantic songs and neediness, codependency. But it's not real. It's what our ego wants us to feel. So first up, we have to reconnect to source and pull your energy back from that person and recognize they're not the source of your good. And when you're needy on someone, your energy is chasing them. It's like a crocodile going after them. That doesn't feel good. I've had people do that to me. And to be honest, probably in my younger days, I did that to someone. Only not long ago, I had someone do that to me, where they decided I was the source of their good, and they became very needy and very angry when they didn't get what they wanted, and very upset and mercurial. And it felt awful. because I could feel they wanted my energy and they weren't interested in what my free will wanted, what I felt. They didn't honor me as a person. They only saw me as the thing that was going to fulfill their need, which is unhealthy and which is damaging to relationships, because you're not acknowledging yourself as a whole being that can, share. And so if someone's not giving you the energy that you want, or the attention that you want, or the love that you want, the best thing that you can do is pull your energy back from them. And if they want to be with you, or they want your connect with you, allow them to be their true selves. Give them space to miss you. And at the same time, you need to work on recognizing the divine is the source of my good. I am whole, perfect, and complete as I am. I do not need another person to tell me my worth, or to show me their worth. And I don't want to violate another person's rights by pulling on them that way. And focus on your energy being like a big energetic arm, like an octopus, has attached to that person, and you're trying to get them to give you whatever it is that you want to give them. Sounds awful, but that's what we've been kind of trained to do in some ways, and it's not right. Energetically, it's not right. When we come together with a person, if I go and spend time with a friend, then we share our energy. We're not like, you need to do this for me. And then we have this beautiful energetic connection, and then we move away, and that person has a right to be in their energy, and I have a personal right to be in my energy, and we bless them because you're feeling good. You feel good about yourself. So that's what I would suggest you do, is that you imagine that arm of energy and you pull it back to yourself, and you say, I love you, I release you, and I let you go. I allow you to have your free will. And if this is not divine spirit, God, if this is not meant for me, then I'm willing to let it go. And if it is meant for me, then I allow it to come to me in open receptivity. But I'm not forcing anything. I don't want to be trying to control anything. And there might be other stuff going on. That person might have promised you something, and then they've denied that promise, or they betrayed you, and that can make you feel needy as well. But you have to just always come back to everything is between you and the divine, you and your own energy, and be at peace with that. And anything that you're struggling with, anyone that you're struggling with, you have to surrender. Give it to the angels and say, I'm struggling with this, please take it from me. And then ask yourself, what do I need to give myself? Do I need to give myself some love? Do I need to chat to a good friend and have a beautiful connection chat, not just moan at them about your problems? Get connected on a heart level with someone, and have that be a healing for you. But honestly, if you're a person that feels needy a lot, that means that you need to do some work on yourself, knowing yourself, loving yourself, making your connection to the source, and allowing people to be who they are, and being in the state of joy of knowing that when you are radiating your brightest light, that attracts people to you. And that's the best advice that I've got. I hope that's helpful for you, Kim. Just be kind to yourself and kind to others. So I hope that's helpful, and I'll send you lots of love, and you'll see me through the week in the evenings. Thank you so much for being here. And if you want to join for the Protect Your Energy webinar, I will put that up for you so that you can click in and get that. Okay, thank you.